Sort of With me. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Well, hello and good morning. Thank you so much for being here today. This is such a fun time for me because since the end of January, as you may have known, I am now in Washington D.C. and this is the first uh, recess they call it, but it's anything but a recess. I mean, I'm still I have a kid in school. When I think of recess, I think of fun and relaxation. Oh, no, no, not for Congress people. You are in your states working. And I am just loving every minute getting around Florida. So this is a fun event this morning. And I am so glad that you took the time to join us. It's one of the best things I get to do to recognize good folks who really are the backbone and the strength of this state. This state of Florida, which is the envy of the rest of the nation. It is why people are elbowing others out of the way to get here and bring their families here and retire here, build businesses here, vacation here. And I can't tell you how proud I am to get to be the United States Senator that represents the great free state of Florida. So we're here today at the Indialantic Police Department. And we share a special announcement for a new initiative, one that is close to my heart. Many of you may remember when I was the Attorney General, I had the honor of working with so many law enforcement officers and agencies around the state. And we launched a campaign called Back the Blue. We said back the blue, but it really was back the green, the tan, the blue. And other folks that worked with law enforcement, our first responders, our firefighters, citizens in the communities that built them up and held them up in such high regard and helped them do such dangerous, brave jobs. And we gave Back the Blue awards when I was the Attorney General. I think from the time I started to the time I became the United States Senator, we gave out over 50 Back the Blue awards around the state. It was truly one of the most special things that I got to do as the Attorney General. And today, we are announcing a new program called Florida's Finest. And while we will continue to, I am sure, recognize the brave actions of many of our first responders and law enforcement, we also want to extend that recognition to Florida's finest from around the state of all walks of life that take courageous actions or do extraordinary things to make this a strong and safe state. There is no better place to begin this recognition than this month in April, which is Emergency Communications Month. This month is dedicated to the behind the scenes heroes. Oftentimes you don't hear about them, you don't read about them, but their work to the success of police and first responders is integral to making sure we're saving lives just as much as the folks that are showing up on scene, whether that's our paramedics, whether that's our badged officers. The folks behind the scenes that are taking in calls from our community members, they are often those calm voices on the phone that are remaining calm in the midst of chaos. And at many times they guide us through our worst moments. They are dedicated professionals. They're often the first point of contact when there's an emergency or when something's going wrong in our community. And that is critical connection to law enforcement, firefighters, EMTs, and other first responders. They work really long and hard, demanding hours. I have visited with them personally, talked through some of the most horrifying cases that they have been a part of, and one of the themes that they often respond with, the biggest thing that they can do is remain calm so that the person on the other end of the line feels that and plugs into that and can remain calm themselves. So, with limited information, oftentimes, very limited information, these quick responders on the phones, these emergency communication workers and dispatchers, they have to pull information from those calling. They have to make decisive calls in a very quick time frame. And oftentimes, those calls that they make can be the difference between life and death. So I am very excited to be here today to present our very first Florida's Finest Award to none other than Ashley Willis. And not just because her name is Ashley, although that is a power name. Ashley quickly responded to a dropped 911 call while working as a dispatcher. And just so you know, Ashley fills in as a dispatcher voluntarily. So anytime they need her to help, she jumps in and helps out and takes those phone calls. And I want to go in before I move forward with this story and tell you a little about who Ashley is as a person. She worked retail for most of her life after she became a working adult and had taken a class in high school on police and what they did, and it always stuck with her. And she always felt like it was something she wanted to do. She wasn't sure she could be the person that rushed onto the scenes, but she knew she wanted to be a part of that effort, that heroic effort, that brave, courageous, selfless service that so many people that work in our firefighting and law enforcement agencies do every single day. And so while she had been in retail most of her life, she heard of an opening at a police department right here and said, I want to be part of something that serves others and is bigger than myself. And she decided to totally change course in her life and begin work right here at the police department. And I think that speaks volumes of who you are, Ashley. There's oftentimes when we have job responsibilities, what takes a person to the next level, which really makes a difference, is when there is a compassionate connection to the job responsibilities. And I know for just based on the reason you came to serve here, by the fact that you will jump in and help out when dispatchers need help, because oftentimes they get very incredibly busy and overwhelmed. It's that kind of person that we need to work in our police agencies, that we want to work in our police agencies. And I'm so glad you answered that inkling that you wanted to be in police service, that you remembered back from high school and answered the call, because that answer to that call very well could have saved 2 lives. Ashley responded to a dropped 911 call, and some may have not followed up on that. But there was something about when she noticed the silent alert and where it was on the map, there was a small indicator of a dropped call. Something about that made her spring into action and further investigate. She had no audio, no direct communication. Again, it's that compassionate connection to the job that made all the difference. Her instincts proved correct, and police discovered a domestic violence situation involving a 7-month pregnant woman. And certainly, the quick response of Ashley may have saved both that woman's life and her unborn child. Her attention to detail and swift response led to the arrest and now the recognition today. For her actions, she has previously been named Telecommunication Officer of the Year, and today I would like to award her with our first Florida's Finest Award. Your quick thinking, your courage, your unwavering commitment to duty shines as the very best of Florida, and we are so so privileged and honored to recognize that. And I'm looking for the award. And thank you, Chief. That's why you're the chief. Congratulations. Thank you. Would you like to say anything, Ashley? I don't know that we even told you would be up, but would you like to say anything? Come on up.
No pressure. Hi, I am Ashley Willis. If anything, I just really want to extend my gratitude to Senator Moody for bringing a spotlight to how she said a group of people who really don't get recognized that often. They don't really get talked about, but they are the first point. So it's an honor to be able to stand for the telecommunicators, the call takers, the dispatchers, and get them the recognition they deserve. I also want to thank my chief, Connor. He was the one that saw the call in our incident updates and saw it was important. I knew it was important, but I knew it was also my job. We saved someone, and I walked away going, I did my job, I helped, everything's fine. But Chief Connor saw that and thought that should be recognized. So he pushed it, and I was shocked because he truly wanted our telecommunicators, our dispatchers to know that our efforts, the calls we take, the mental strain we get with those calls, getting to the officers is important. And even a small little recognition means something. I also want to thank my telecommunication group. They are not here because they have to watch the calls, but they truly trained me. My supervisor, the 911 hotlines, the rapid deploys, they have trained me for that one moment that I'm getting recognized today. And without them, I do not know how I would have handled that call. So a big thank you and gratitude towards them. But also to thank my support, my team. I have family members here today, and I also have my employee family who helped me. Sometimes I volunteer when I can. Sometimes it's hard, but to have a support group behind you telling you it's great, you're doing fine, really does help. And I want to express my gratitude towards them as well. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate everyone being here. We have some council members, John Brady, Carrie Foy is here as well. We have some chiefs of police, Chief Pearson, Chief Burden. Thank you very much for being here today. One of the things I want to commend Chief Connor for, and he wouldn't come up here and brag on himself, so I guess I'll have to do it for him. He has really focused on making sure he is recruiting and maintaining his ranks to the fullest extent possible so they don't, number one, fall short of hand or deplete morale. And I want to commend him for doing that. So many agencies across the nation, even in Florida, are dealing with vacancy rates. And sometimes those vacancy rates are really hard to overcome when you're trying to provide the best service to your residents. And so I would, if there's anybody watching this that feels that inkling that Ashley had, that I want to be part of something bigger than myself, that I want to be part of serving my community, making sure that I am giving anything that I can, using my talents that God has blessed me with to be a guardian of my community, just like all of these folks that do these dangerous jobs every day. There are so many ways you can do that, even if you are not a badged officer. Dispatchers are incredibly important. Community officers are incredibly important. The folks at the front desk, the ones that are working in the jails, every one of them are vital to our strong and safe state. So if you are interested in joining, I have a lot of police chiefs in here that would be super happy if you wanted to come on in any capacity, keeping up ranks that are full and vibrant and full of morale and understand what that oath means and being a part of a team that are protectors and guardians. That's a really big deal. And we would invite any Floridian that wants to seek a change of course in their professional career, or even an out of state person that wants to come be a part of our Florida Hero family. We've had thousands of police officers from around the nation move to Florida to be Florida Heroes. I am grateful to them. And now we welcome them proudly with open arms into our Florida family. So thank you very much for everyone being here today. Congratulations to Ashley on being our very first award recipient of our Florida's Finest Award. I'm sure there will be many more after you, but hard to fill those shoes. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'd be happy to take any questions.